Hello ladies and gents, it's Dan with Adventuring Today. Hope you're doing great. Thanks for being here today. I've got a special campground I want to share with you. I think you're really going to enjoy it, but before we get into that, I just want to remind you to be sure to subscribe, share this video with your camping friends, and click that bell, and of course like it. If you think I did a halfway decent job on this video, I appreciate the like. So anyway, I want to talk to you about this campground. It is called the KOA at Prizer Point in Cadiz, Kentucky. Pretty sure I'm pronouncing Cadiz correctly. It's C-A-D-I-Z, Kentucky. It is on this incredible man-made lake system, which is made up of two lakes. One is Lake Barkley and the other one is Kentucky Lake. They're connected to each other. And a lot of folks, if you've ever heard of the Big Loop, they start in this lake system and they leave this lake system and you go up to the Ohio River, down the Mississippi, into the Gulf of Mexico. And if you're going to do it right, it takes 12 months to do the Big Loop, and you're down in the Gulf of Mexico and so forth in the wintertime. You come up the east coast of the United States. I think it's through the New York Harbor to get up to the Great Lakes system, and then you're doing that in the summer, and then you come back down to the Mississippi and so forth, and you end up right back here in 12 months. So you're spending your winter months in the warmer states and the summer months in what typically is the cooler states. So winter, you're south, summer, you're north, and it takes 12 months to do it. So not a lot of people can take 12 months out to go do that. A lot of retired folks can if you got the money. It's not cheap, but from what I've heard, it is an absolute blast and a game changer. So anyway, this is where a lot of those people start that venture. And but this campground is on this lake, and it is, at one point in time, this was the largest man-made lake in the world, and also, of course, one of the largest man-made lakes today still in the United States. There's 2,300 miles of shoreline in this lake system, so it is big, and it's also a commercial shipping route because it connects the Gulf of Mexico to our major rivers here in the United States, Mississippi, Ohio, and so forth. This is a great conduit for that. So yesterday we saw some enormous barges when we were out on the lake. One of them was shipping what looked like crude oil. Another one was shipping what looked like maybe soybeans or corn. It was a grain barges, and they were huge. The kids just couldn't believe how big these ships were. So how do we get on the lake? Well, if you can see right behind me, there's probably tough to see, but there's a full service marina. And I haven't counted how many boat slips are here, but there's probably 100, 150 boat slips. So a lot of folks use this marina if they live in the area here, not at the campground, but away from there, as their marina. So it's a full service marina. They've got mechanics here. There's obviously fuel and incredible customer service. So we rented a pontoon boat yesterday and went out on the lake, which was one of the reasons that we were really attracted to this campground. Now, we wanted to be on the lake for Memorial Day weekend, and today's Memorial Day 2020. So that was our main goal for coming down here. What we found out once we started looking at this campground, this KOA at Prizer Point, was that there were a lot of other amenities that my wife and I and our kids could really, really enjoy. One of them is a big lagoon. So over here to my left, to your right, is a big lagoon. Unfortunately, this is closed right now because of the virus, but it's a jumping pads, inflatable jumping pads and obstacle courses and slides that are floating on the water. There's lifeguards there. It's pretty shallow. It's really safe. There's good water circulation, so the water's fresh. It's just a really neat place. I can't really show you much of that because there's really not much to show. You're better off going to the KOA Prizer Point website to learn more about that. But I can talk to you about a lot of the other amenities here at the campground. So getting back to the marina, they've got, I think the number is about 25 different boats that they rent. Now, we got a high performance pontoon. It had a 140 horsepower motor in it. It was a tri-tune. It went pretty fast. It went maybe 25 miles per hour or so at full throttle, and it performed great. It was a nice stereo on it. It was clean. It was only a couple years old. It was in really good condition, and it just made for a great day yesterday. So when we decided that we wanted to go to a campground that was close to water, we also then decided that we wanted to go eat lunch out on the lake somewhere different than where we were staying. So when we got here, we asked 5 or 6 employees at 5 or 6 different times what their favorite restaurant was out on the water, and everybody talked about Eddie Cove Marina. This is about a 40-minute boat ride up the lake to get to the marina, and the restaurant was fantastic. I had shrimp, my son had chicken, my wife had a BLT sandwich, and all of it was absolutely fantastic. And then they also have ice cream. They've got a full bar. They've got fishing gear. Of course, we forgot our fishing poles, so we just took an opportunity to buy some fishing gear up there. And then when you leave that restaurant, there's a little cove that we discovered. You go underneath a bridge, you go into this cove, and it's a great place to just cove out. You could do tubing in there too. It's huge. It's 3 miles long and really wide. But there's also real quiet areas where you can just set your anchor in and hang out and at the cove and let the kids swim and everything like that. So, it's Memorial Day weekend. The water was probably about 75 degrees, which I thought was pretty warm considering, number one, that we're so close to the winter months and we've had so much rain. But you come down here in July and August, this lake's going to be quite a bit warmer. But the kids had no problem getting in the water. My wife didn't have any problem getting in the water. I did not want to get in the water. It's a little too cold for me, but I'm a little bit of a wimp along those lines. So I skipped on that and just watched them have fun. But anyway, so the boating is great. One thing you do have to be careful with boating, though, is because it is a man-made lake, if you get too close to the shore in certain areas, you can damage the boat or damage the prop. So just a word of warning, just be careful about that. If you do run a boat down here, that you might damage a prop or something like that. So, but I mean, if you're careful or use just a little bit of common sense, you're not going to have any problems at all. So that's the marina. What else about the campground is great? Well, KOAs, in my opinion, are always, pretty darn good. This KOA, though, is on another level. I mean, and it's all about the people. Why are Chick-fil-A so good? It's about the people. The people make the place great. Food's awesome, too, but the people make it such a memorable experience. Well, that's the same thing going on here at this Prizer Point KOA. The people are incredible. They will bend over backwards to make sure you have a great stay, and you always feel like you're the only person at the campground when they're working with you, which is really incredible because there's a lot of young people working here, and so management must have some sort of really good training program to help them understand what real good customer service is all about. So the people are fantastic, but there's a floating restaurant here, which is really good. I already mentioned the full service marina, which is fantastic. You can fish all around the campground because the campground is on a point inside a cove on the lake. And so our campsite, which I felt was the best, we made this reservation maybe 9 months ago. Our campsite, in my opinion, is the best campsite here, but there's a whole bunch of other ones that are really good, and it just depends what you're after. If you don't want to be so close to the water, there's some really great places to stay. If you want to be on the water, and when I mean on the water, I mean, like 10 feet from the shoreline, they've got those campsites too. Now, those campsites that are literally right on the water of course, they don't have sewer. You just can't mix sewer too close to the fresh water like that. But they do have full electric, and they do have fresh water. And every day they've got a tractor that comes around, and they offer to empty your tanks for you every single day. You can always call them up and say, hey, we need to empty our tanks, and they'll come help you out. But they make a loop every single morning to offer to empty people's tanks out and who need it. And so there's really very little inconvenience for staying right on the water like they are at some other campgrounds. So anyway, so what I want to do with the rest of the video is I want to kind of drive you around a little bit. I want to show you some other areas of the campground, because off to my left, which is your right, there is a section that's really close to where the lagoon is of really nice campsites that are also right on the water. And then over to my right and your left, you've got the marina and the restaurant, and then there's probably 3/4 of the campsites are all over here. So I'm going to start over here. I'm going to talk to you about a couple campsites that I think are great, and then I'm going to take you over this way and show you some other the campsites and why you might want to stay on these versus other ones. So if you're looking to stay at the KOA at Prizer Point here in Kentucky, this is going to be the part of the video for you, because I'm going to go over in pretty good detail these different campsites and some things to consider when you come down here, okay? If you have any questions, let me know. Stick them in the comments. Be more than happy to do my best to answer those for you. I just want to mention this. I don't get paid anything by KOA. I don't get paid anything by Prizer Point to make this video. I don't make a lot of campground videos. We camp a lot. But when I stay at a place that I think is just really, really, really above average, I mean like spectacular, I want to make a video about it because I just feel like this campground needs to be shared with the world in a better way. And I'm probably shooting myself in the foot because this is a place we want to come down to, and it's already really popular, but I might be making it even more popular. I don't know. So anyway, if you want to come down here, make your reservations early because this place, it's absolutely sold out this weekend, and we still have this virus going on. There's not a campsite available. There's not a boat available. And they've rented golf carts here too. There's not a golf cart available. I mean, everything is taken. So make your reservations early, but if you do, you're gonna love this place, I promise you. Now let me take you around the campground and show you what it's all about, okay? Thanks a lot. Okay, so it is, see what time it is here. It's a little after 10 o'clock in the morning, and this is the day, this is the time that you need to check out at Prizer Point, 10 o'clock. So, you're gonna see that a lot of these campsites are empty, which this is part of the reason why I wanted to wait until this part of the day to make this video, was because I wanted to be able to, you know, not be able to actually access some of these campsites a little better. So anyway, so this is the area that's near the lagoon, and what you can see here is the boats and the marina are right on the other side of where these campsites are. And they are, I mean, look at this, you're just literally right on the water. Now these right here are full hookup sites. So you've got water, you've got electricity, you've got sewer. You can see this is the guy picking up the garbage. They've got garbage cans all over the campground. They come by once or twice a day to clean that up. But look at this, you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, I would say even maybe 8 campsites right here that are literally right on the water. Full hookup with concrete patios. I mean, the whole shooting match. So any of those are absolutely great sites. Okay, got around the car. So here's some more campsites up here. You know, they're just layered up and down the hill. Again, full hookup, concrete pads. Really, really nice. Of course, you've got bathrooms over here. You've got a playground. So I would say if you really want to stay near the lagoon, this is where you want to be. If you take this road, you can see where it curves to the left there. That's how you get to the lagoon. The lagoon is about the same distance as where we are now from the water. So it's not that far down there. The kids could walk over there. Again, there's lifeguards over there in the summer. And so it's, you know, very, very safe. And mom and dad could stay at home while the kids all go have fun and get worn out. And this is a really safe, convenient place to do it. Now, if you're not going to spend a lot of time at the lagoon, then maybe your preference is more boating, then maybe the other side of the campground is a better place to go. So I'm going to show you that here in just a couple seconds. Okay, people are leaving left and right here. I mean, this campground was packed. So I'm going to show you a little secret about this campground. So if you can see, I'm coming back here to this little path, and lots of people go back here. Now, I'm not going to drive you back here because you're not supposed to take your golf carts back, but this is a great little biking trail, and you can go all the way back here. It's wide enough for a golf cart. I think actually a lot of people do take their golf carts back here. You're not supposed to, but it's lots of fun. It's off-road, it's wide, you know, so if your kids are coming back here and they want to bike, this is kind of a cool place to do it. So that's where it starts, and this is where it ends. It ends right over here. And, you know, it's just great. So I haven't seen anything in the brochure about this or on their website. Maybe there's something on there about it, but this is like a little secret of the campground. So if you like to bike a little bit, like to go off-road, you know, it might take you, I don't know, maybe 10 minutes to go around the whole thing. And again, you know, it's really close to where these other campsites are right over here that are close to the lagoon. Okay, when you come to the campground, you're gonna check in way back that way, back towards the road. And so they'll get you all set up, and then you come in here, and this is where folks are parking their boats, that are parking their trailers as they are out on the water. So a lot of people bring their boats here, park them here, and then they bring their vehicles to the campground. And then when they want to go boating, if they don't have a boat slip, they come over here, grab their boat, go boating, and they're good to go. This is just a little pavilion right here. And a lot of the workers will hang out here, just make sure everybody knows where they're going and so forth. You've got tough to see probably, but you've got basketball courts over there. This is one of the private residences at the campground. And this is where we're getting close to where the marina is here. Lots of traffic. So here's the marina. Now, you've got 5 huge boat docks at this marina, and they can house anything from, small boats. Hey guys. They can house everything from small boats to, they've got 100, it's got to be at least 100-foot long houseboat. I mean, you should see this thing. It's just amazing. But this is the marina, and it is pretty amazing. So over here on the left-hand side, you've got a playground. This is an outdoor pool. This in the yellow covered area is another pool that can be covered, or those roofs slide back, and it's a second uncovered pool. Back to this side, this building here is the floating restaurant / camp store. If you get fuel from the marina, then you would come up here to pay for it. And you can see at the end of this dock over here, this is where everybody is getting their fuel for their boats and everything like that. So anyway, this is just a great place. Here's another nice little swing set for the kids, playground. Okay, so these are the sites that to me are some of the best at the campground. So you can see here, I don't know what that Integra cost, but that's probably about $1 million, $1.5 million at least, if not closer to $2 million. But these sites are great. You can see the water is right there, and they are absolutely fantastic. Now I'm going to take you down to where our site is. My wife and 3-year-old are out right now, and this guy's got a nice setup here. Small world how we actually know those people but didn't know it. But here they are. We bought her a $8 pool, and she's fishing in that pool. So this is our campsite. This is my rig, and it's right on the water. I mean, literally right on the water. So this site right here that this guy has does not have sewer, but he's got everything else, water and electric. But look how close we are to the water. I mean, it's just so nice. Okay, so here we are back. We'll come along this road here. Now when we pull out, we're going to pull out on this road that we're on. And you see how close we are to the water? I mean, it's just right here. It's just so nice. Now this is a cove, and you can drive fast along here once you get out of where the water is for the marina. So it doesn't take long to get out to the main part of the lake. But the main part of the lake is just right there. So you're just so close. Now, we're almost done here. I got a couple more sites I want to show you. And, these campsites are great. They're not, over here you don't have the full concrete pads. But on the left-hand side, you've got full hookup. On the right-hand side, you've got water and electricity. But look how close these folks are to the water. I mean, they're just so nice. I mean, you could just walk right out of your camp and be right there on the water, ready to do some fishing or some swimming. Now, these over here, I think if you want to be on this part of the lake, I think these are pretty nice. It looks like that might be site 15P. This one over here is site 16P. So these sites are, I mean, they're just right on the water, and the kids could just swim right in. It's almost like a little cove within a cove right here. So this is 17P. I mean, look at all these. They're right here. They're so nice. I mean, this was packed last night. I mean, there were 18P is here. I mean, you could not find a campsite open in this campground. But again, everybody's got to be out of here by 10, and everybody is pretty much, looks like they're leaving. This one's 19p, so that one's pretty close. And this one over here is 20p. So what is that? Maybe 14 through 20? If you want those that have really easy access. Now these over here, you've got a little bit of a step down, like 21p. It's a little bit of a step down to get into the water, but not bad, right? Not bad at all. So, okay, when you get over to this part of the campground, you've got your cabins. And these cabins have everything, you know, AC, electric, water, you know, plumbing, the whole shooting match. And they were also packed this weekend. So the last little area I want to show you is over here on the left-hand side. You've got more of these forts that you can rent. Now, a few of these campsites I do believe are permanent residents, but not all of them. It's just a small section of the campground is permanent residents. So over here you've got condos, bungalows, tree houses, log cabins, whole bunch of campsites. I mean, it's just great, and it's so boating friendly. They've got a whole parking lot over here dedicated to trailers. So if you want to park your smaller trailers over here, you know, like for your wave runners or utility trailers, you won't believe how many people bring their golf carts down to this campsite. I'm pretty positive that's what these utility trailers are for, is for the golf carts. So these condos over here, you've got 4 units per condo. So if you don't have an RV, but you want to get on the lake and have access to all these great amenities, this is a great place to stay. These are bungalows over here, which are single family, places that you can rent out. And again, they're right on the water. And this is the main part of the lake. So just like that, within just a couple minutes of driving this golf cart, you know, you're on the main section of the lake. In fact, there's a couple boats right there. But look at this. This is so nice. Got to come to this campground. It's just awesome. So here's some people that are taking off. I'm going to cut back this way because I think, you know, this is another really nice area. So if you don't want to be on the water, but you want to be up on a hill, this is a pretty good place to be. This site right here is a concrete patio, and it is really, really nice, and a lot of grass for the kids to play in. Here's some smaller bungalows. You know, I don't know what the price points are on these, but these over here are going to be a little bit less money than the ones on the other side, like the condos. But you know what? If you want to get to the campground, man, you got everything you need right there. You've got air conditioning, you've got picnic benches, you got a lot of grass to play games and everything. It's just awesome. Okay guys, with that, sorry that was a little bit maybe exhaustive, the second half. There was almost no other way to really show it to you. Hopefully I'll get better at those in the future, but I'm just trying to give you a quick overview of some of the places that I like the most on this campground, and some of the campsites I think are nice. So thanks for being here today. If you're curious about the campsite for my campground, that was campsite number 2. Number 1 was the one at the very end with no sewer, which is literally as close as you could be on the water. You've got probably 180 degrees of your campsite is surrounded by water. My campsite was campsite number 2, full hookup. I would say try to get that one if you can. I think it's just the best of everything right there. It's close to food, close to the marina, close to the water, close to all the conveniences and so forth. It's pretty neat. So anyway, thanks for being here today. Again, don't forget to subscribe, like the video, share with your friends, and we will see you real soon. Take care. Bye.